Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is so very special. It's a yet another 3 palettes 3 looks video, and this week we are going to use the GLAMINATRIX Cosmetics Grounded palette or Tones of Dirt, whichever you have in your collection. This is, by the way, the look that I did from the Grounded palette. The next palette that we're going to use this week will be the KRYPTEIN Cosmetics Emerald City palette, and this is a muted green grayish kind of a palette. I really love the vibes of this palette too. It's really muted, which is what I really love about the palette. And the third palette that we're going to use today is the Coalescence palette from Bella Beaute Bar, and this was in collaboration with Nupur. Again, a beautiful everyday palette for me. I would say it's colorful, it's muted, so this is definitely much wearable palette, but with like a special twist. I really love this too. So if you guys want to see all 3 palettes in action, then please keep on watching. Let's begin our look with the Grounded palette. So excited. I love this palette. Okay, I am going to start with the Grounded shade, this burgundy shade, on my outer corners. And these are all very pigmented shades. So I'll go less at a time. I already have my liner mascara already on because I was gone outside for a bit. I'm going to just stamp it right there, and we'll definitely build it up, don't worry. I'm going to just tap it right where I need the depth, and then just blend over the edges with the same brush when we have very little less product. There, okay. I'm going to take that same shade Grounded on the outer corner of the lower lash line. Just right there. So once we have that, before we stop, I'm going to take a little bit of a lined shade, this brown. It's more like a coffee brown, and I'm going to take that in the extreme outer corner just to make it a little bit more deep and dark. Just right there, okay? So you can see the difference. I'm actually tapping between Reflect and Aligned, both, and just tapping right there. Hopefully you cannot hear the kids screaming. There are a bunch of kids playing outside and screaming on the top of the lungs. For the inner portion of the crease, I am going to take this anchored shade, the yellow, and I'm going to start taking that in my crease, and I'm going to slightly blend it with that burgundy shade to get that oranginess in place, okay? That's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that yellow to turning into orange to turning into burgundy. Okay, so I'm gonna place it right there and then just go back and forth where it meets with burgundy, taking that same shade on my lower lash line too, just right there. Okay, so once we have the mattes all there, I'm going to start off with this calm shade, which is that burgundy reddy green kind of shade, and I'm going to take that in my center of the eyelid, I would say, and melting it with that burgundy shade just right there. I'm looking for like a fall eye. This is such a pretty shade. I love this one. Look at that. That's a gorgeous shade. I'm going to take this Secure shade, this green. Why not? I'm going to just melt everything out and then take that in the inner portion and melt it with that burgundy shade. Just right there. So that would give a little bit more contrast. You can also go with that yellow shade. I was looking for more of a different color than yellow, and yellow just to be on the background. Very pretty. For the inner corner, I'm taking that yellow, the balanced shade, this one, and I'm placing that right there in the inner corner. Look how bright that is. Okay, let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara, and I'll come right back to show you my final. And there you go, that's my final look with the Grounded palette. I really love this palette so very much. I've used this palette so much after this has landed in my collection. I feel like the tones are so beautiful, so beautiful. The only shade I feel like, I've said it in my reveal video also, the only shade I feel like that is not useful for me is that white shade. I would have liked a lighter shade, but not white, if that makes sense. I don't think white goes with the vibe here, but otherwise this palette is beautiful. The tones are beautiful, the shimmers are lovely, the mattes, the tones of mattes are also absolutely amazing. I'm not a green person, but this palette, even though it is a murky green palette, I can definitely rule over the vibes of this palette. I really love it. I did pair this look with L'Oreal lipstick in the shade Les Nude Assertive, which is the number 137. So that's what I have on my lips right now. Now let's move on to the next eye look. Let's begin our next look with the Emerald City palette. I want to go very neutral this time. I'm going to start with Gravestone and then I'm going to blend it with this taupe shade and see where we go. Gravestone is definitely a lot more deeper shade, a dark shade. So I'm going to go slowly from the outer corner into the crease. And I know that taupe shade doesn't do much justice. If that's the case, I'll just use a bronzer. So I'm just packing the depth that I'm looking for, and then whatever is left on the brush, I'll start taking it in the crease. Just little by little, because I don't want like a deep smoky eye, but I do want a little bit of transition in the crease. Taking that same shade on the lower lash line with no additional product. Now I'm taking that skeleton shade, that taupe, and I'm gonna start blending the crease and melting it with that brown, the deeper brown. I mainly want to use the shade Warden, and I'm going to start with Warden and see where we want to land with it. Warden is definitely a lot of multi-dimensional sparkle shade. I see red, green, gold all running throughout it. Just right there. Okay, that is going to be the star of the show for today's look. And I want to keep it super neutral today. One, I'm wearing like a red top, so I don't want that to clash. With no additional product, I'm just taking my outer corner brush and just tapping the edges. Just so that there's no like demarcation and everything is blending smoothly into each other. I'm actually taking MBA Cosmetics, this palette. What is this called? Just a Day in Paradise palette with this peachy shade. And I'm taking that in the inner corner and just sweeping it up. That's all. Let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara and come right back. And there you go. That's my second eye look. I really wanted to show like what is like a very neutral eye that can be created with the Emerald City palette, and I love this palette. I really love, you know how much I am not into greens, but this palette is definitely muted enough for it to create variety of looks, which is what I love about Emerald City. The dimension on the eyes are also so pretty. I really love it. Now let's move on to the next eye look. Okay, let's begin our third look with the Coalescence palette. I am wearing like a blue and a green kind of dress. I don't know. I was planning on doing a purple look, but I don't think it'll match with this. So we have to go a different route. I'm going to start with DK on my lid. So that is going to be like my packing lid shade. So basically taking DK, the dark green. I'm going to start at the base of the eye and then blend it with a different color. But this is what I want in the majority of the eyelid. Okay, so just patting it right now. I didn't even know what lip color to match it with. So I'm like, let me finish off with my eye and then we'll think about lip. So once we have that color all laid across the eyelid, now I'm going to take a smaller blending brush. Let's start off with this Proud shade, this green. And I'm going to take that towards the edge and start blending the edges. just so that there's no harsh lines. And it's a subtle gradient from the green to the darker green. And we might have to go back and forth just to make it make sense. I'm going to take the same two shades on my lower lash lines too. Start with the lighter one and then take the deeper decay shade very close to the lash line. Okay, just try that. Okay, I'm going to take two shades. One is Gel and the other one is Balance. I'm going to first lay Gel down right there on top of that green. Okay, just to give that scattered shimmer look. Now it's more like a blue-green look. And now whatever the Balance shade that we have, I'm going to place that in my inner corner. And Balance is like a pink to a green shifting shadow, and it is a very bright shade. It totally depends on how you're applying it. I am taking it on a loose fluffy brush. So, okay, so we have that in the inner corner. I'm also taking that same shade Balance right in the center of the eyelid, just to give a little bit more of a spotlight eye look. Okay, just right there. Now let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara, and I'll come right back to show you my final look. And there you go, that's my final look. I really love the way how this turned out. I love the inclusion of that blue and the green together, especially with this outfit. I feel like it goes so well, and this is nothing that I've done in the past with Coalescence, and I love the variety of looks you can get with Coalescence palette. I feel like you absolutely, if you are like medium skin tone person, medium tan, I would say, you would absolutely love it. Love it. I really love the variety. That's my favorite part about that palette. By the way, there's one shade. What's the shade called? Fauna. It was a satin shade. You might not see the difference. It's a satin shade, which is like a chocolatey brown shade. I did replace that with this is a Terra Moon's shade. Very similar to it, but more sparkly. It's called Mocha Twilight. I did replace it with that shade. So that's how this one looks. I feel like it keeps the vibe of the palette, but it gives me more sparkle and shine that I'm looking for. So that's Mocha Twilight. Okay. So that's the only difference. If you see a little bit of difference in the palette, that's what it is. But that's all for today. Do let me know in the comment section below, out of the three palettes, which one was your favorite. But now let's move on to the outro. Now, once you've seen all the three looks, you guys have to let me know which palette was your favorite, which look was your favorite. Was it the Bella Beaute Bar Coalescence palette? I really love the vibes of this palette. And I've already created three looks with this palette in my reveal video. But tell me if you like this palette more than the other two. The next palette that we did test out was the Emerald City palette. Again, a very muted wearable green palette, I would say. Or was it from the Grounded palette, which is from Glaminatrix Cosmetics? I really loved all the three looks that I created using this palette. You guys have to let me know which look was your absolute favorite, and do you have these palettes in your collection or not? I do have a code with all three brands and with all three palettes, and my code is SMITHYSONY to save you 10% off. But that's all for today. If you did like my video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post it. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.